Alright, here's how I went from this
Hell no, man.
to this in 6 weeks. Alright, I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I don't want to take up too much of your time. Here's proof that I lost 40 pounds of pure fat in 6 weeks and maintained all my muscle. This is me at the end of my dirty bulk. I put on a lot of muscle, but I wasn't happy with the aesthetics of my physique. I was 235 here. This was October 29th, 2023. Here's some different poses. As you can see, there's no definition at all. Looks awful. Fast forward 6 weeks later of dieting, and this is what I looked like. I had lost all of that fat and even gained a little bit of size. And you can see that there's visible cuts in my muscles. You can see my abs if I go back. You can see my serratus. And I lost basically almost like 40 pounds of pure fat. In this picture, I was 235 and was coming off a dirty bulk, which I will never do again. I realized that although I had gained some muscle, I had put on way too much fat, to the point where it ruined my physique. I decided to go on a 6-week Minicut and went from 235 to 195/200, which is honestly f***ing insane for 6 weeks. I also maintained all of my muscle and strength, and here's how I did it. Now, this is a very extreme diet, and I would only recommend this to people who are insanely disciplined and have stuck to extreme diets in the past. If you have been trying to lose weight for years and haven't been consistent, you need a more consistent diet that isn't this extreme, a more modest approach to weight loss. This is meant for people who are very serious and have been exactly on point with their training and diet, not people who are just generally trying to lose weight and don't take it very seriously. First, the calorie deficit. A Minicut is a drastic, low-calorie diet designed to drop the fat off of you as quick as possible. Do not stay in a Minicut for more than 6 weeks, since you will probably experience hormonal problems, such as your sex drive plummeting, feeling like shit,
Oh my.
low energy, and not being able to fall asleep. In order to put yourself in this drastic calorie deficit, you will firstly need to calculate your caloric maintenance, and mine was around 3,300 calories. I decided to be in a large calorie deficit and drop my calories to 1,800, which would set me to be on track to lose around 3 pounds a week, or in other words, around a 1,500 calorie deficit every single day. Next, I did 1.5 hours of cardio per day. Make sure to do low intensity, steady state cardio in order to make sure you don't cause too much systemic fatigue. High intensity cardio is terrible for muscle growth since it will negatively impact recovery and could cause muscle loss, which is even more prominent during a cut. According to ChatGPT, I could possibly burn an extra 500 to 600 calories per day by just walking more, which would have brought down my calories to 1,200. Now, let's get on to the most important part, the diet. For my diet, I made sure to try and keep as much fats and protein in as possible. Fats are crucial for hormonal function, and protein is essential for building and maintaining muscle mass. In order to cut my calories drastically, I reduced my carbohydrates significantly so I had much less calories in my diet, as well as more room for proteins and fats. However, if you are training with high-intensity heavy weightlifting, it is extremely important to have carbs, since they are the primary source of fuel for your muscles during high-intensity voluntary muscular contractions. In order to account for this, I ate most of my carbs an hour before training, and this allowed me to maintain my strength and workout performance while being in an insane deficit of 2,100 calories. If you want to get a dietary amount of fat in mind, I would recommend dividing your body weight by 2.75. This should give you a good idea about how many grams of fat to eat And for protein, I would recommend 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. This will allow you to maintain and possibly even build strength while losing an absolutely insane amount of fat. In order to mitigate the negative hormonal effects of a mini cut, I would highly recommend mostly eating clean, non processed foods. Foods such as meat, fruit, and vegetables are much more filling and nutrient dense, allowing you to feel much better despite being in such a huge deficit. Meats especially helped me during my mini cut due to how satiating they were, as well as the large amounts of protein they contained. Finally, let's cover the training. For your training volume, I would recommend dropping it lower to your maintenance volume or your minimum effective volume, MEV, to simulate muscle growth. Although you can still grow muscle in a deficit, a more extreme deficit, such as a mini cut, will drastically reduce the chances of you getting stronger and building size. Remember, a mini cut is not meant for muscle growth or strength gain, but fat loss in the fastest time possible. The priority should be to maintain your strength, not build more muscle or strength. Maintenance volume is also a lot less stressful on your body, allowing you to minimize muscle loss during the deficit, and it will resensitize you for a bulking phase. And that's it. If you're experiencing any problems with the aggressive diet, such as sex drive issues, feeling like crap, or sleep problems, increase your calories back to maintenance. Remember, we are trying to diet and lose fat, not kill ourselves. If you haven't been sticking to your diet well, I would not recommend this approach, but a more modest one. However, if you are serious about losing a ton of fat in a short amount of time and maintaining your size and strength, this is the approach for you. If this video helped you, I would greatly appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I also have one-on-one coaching available on my Instagram for fitness, where I help people get in shape. If you are serious about building your physique, shoot me a message if you want a consultation. That's it. Thanks for watching.